What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. And unlike seemingly everybody else and their mama, that you are staying out of jail, okay? Because the boys is out here and not just here, right? Internationally as well. So Nicki Minaj was arrested and she was fined in Amsterdam at their airport after the Dutch police say they found soft narcotics in her luggage. So let's go ahead and get into this article from CBS News. It says rapper Nicki Minaj was briefly arrested and then fined in the Amsterdam airport on Saturday on allegations that officials found soft narcotics in her luggage, according to Dutch authorities. The Royal Netherlands, they posted to their social media, their police agency, Saturday night that a 41-year-old American woman was arrested on suspicion of exporting soft narcotics and was fined and then released from custody after officials consulted with local prosecutors. The amount of the fine was not provided. The police did not name Minaj as the suspect in question, but the rapper posted the video to social media of the ordeal. In the video, she explains that police told her that the officers had allegedly found uh, Mary Jane in her bags and that it would have to be weighed. Minaj's video shows a man in a suit telling her that police want to search all of her luggage. It says, quote, "The police officer told me we have to offload all of your luggage and search everything in your luggage." So this man was not immediately identified in the video. So what I recently learned was that Mary Jane is in fact illegal in the Netherlands, but it's tolerated for recreational use. So I know that they have specific coffee houses dedicated to Amsterdam or in Amsterdam for people to use and partake if they want to, but I didn't realize it was illegal. I learned something new today. In the video, the police officers could be heard telling Minaj that she was under arrest for carrying the narcotics before asking her to get into a van to go to the police station. Minaj, who was born Anika Tanya Minaj Petty, and oh, speaking of Petty, okay, let me just go ahead and make this caveat here because, from my understanding, her husband had to get a signature from the judge, special permission to even accompany her overseas during her tour because he was supposed to be watching their son. But he's in trouble himself, right? He failed to register as a SCX offender and, he was in danger of going back into the clink clink himself. So he had to go through the process of getting permission to leave the country, and he's supposed to check in with his PO in every city. So now, on top of everything, y'all are getting arrested for having illegal substances overseas. Like on top of I mean, like your husband is essentially, on probation. He's not supposed to be around that. That could literally send him back. Like I'm wondering when they go back to the U.S. if they're going to let him, if they're going to charge him with a violation because that's illegal. But okay, let's get back to the article. It says, so she denied the claim and requested a lawyer multiple times before getting into the van. Prior to Minaj's release, Robert Keppel, a military policeman, he's a spokes officer. He told them that the interrogation is still ongoing. A representative for Minaj and the Amsterdam police did not immediately respond to CBS News' request for comment. Minaj was in Amsterdam. She played a show at the Ziggy Dome on Thursday. She was on her way to Manchester, England for another show that was slated to take place on Saturday night as a part of her Pink Friday 2 world tour when the arrest occurred. The Manchester venue where Minaj was slated to perform, Co-op Live, pictured here on the right, announced that the Saturday show was postponed. I heard it was canceled as a result of the arrest. Despite Nicki's best efforts to explore every possible avenue to make tonight's show happen, the events of today has made it impossible. In a series of posts that she wrote on Twitter, Minaj claimed that the arrest was an attempt to sabotage her tour. She says, quote, "They're being paid big money to try to sabotage my tour because so many people are mad that it's successful and they can't eat off of me. They got caught stealing money from my travels and my jets, got fired, got mad, etc." She said. Also, so she's talking about her security team. Okay. Well, at least she knew enough, to make sure that they were fired and to get her off of to get them off of her team. So that's good. So maybe that's that's evidence that they can provide to the judge. I guess it depends on how lenient that judge is going to be. But this reminds me of, I don't know if you guys heard about the several Americans who have been locked up going to Turks and Caicos. And I mean, it's been like one after another, after another, after another, because they were caught with ammunition in their bags. So, and I mean, whoever in TSA, and I know our TSA has a lot going on, but they would allow, or maybe they just skipped it and they missed it. Um, the guys would, and I think it's like 5 Americans now, and this is all happening within this past year. But basically, they made it through the American airports with ammunition in their bag, right? Bullets at the bottom of their luggage or, whatever compartment. And when they would get to Turks and Caicos, when they would try to fly back home, Turks and Caicos, it's illegal to have ammunition there. And it got so frequent with Americans bringing illegal bullets into their country because they used to just give them a fine, but they said now it's up to 12 years. And so I think within a very short time period alone, they have charged or found 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 American tourists with ammunition in their bags. And I'm like, this is ridiculous because when I travel, and I haven't been since the pandemic, I haven't been out of the country, but even beforehand, I remember going to somewhere and coming back, and we had bug spray, and the airport person, stopped me and was asking about the bug spray. I just took it and I just threw it in the trash, and I said, next, like anything. Okay, because what I'm not about to do is, hold up the line or go to jail or make any fuss over, bug spray or anything. I mean, unless it was like some kind of sentimental jewelry or something, which I wouldn't take internationally anyway. But I don't understand when people like, like the Kardashians got robbed. I believe they were in France, and Kim, was upset that they got robbed over, having all this really expensive jewelry overseas. Why would you take multi-million dollars worth of jewelry overseas? That doesn't make sense. Won't why wouldn't you check and double check one the rules of the country that you're going into, right? Because other places, one of my favorite shows, y'all, is Locked Up Abroad. I'm sorry. It is. It is because people do not do their due diligence. And it's one of my favorite shows. But yeah, it's like you cannot take illegal substances across one state lines, but international, that's trafficking. And you will catch a federal charge. Like in other countries, they don't play. Um, I forget the guy's name in Singapore. He didn't even have any illegal substances, but like they caned him. And the other guy in North Korea, Otto Weminger or something like that. I know his last name starts with a W. This man, he was like what, in his 20s, late teens, early 20s, from Ohio State, I believe it was. He went over to North Korea, which blows my mind, but and took a poster off the wall. And when I tell you that he was on international TV crying and pleading for his life, and he, ended up in a coma over there, and they brought him, back over here, and he did not survive. All that over a poster. Really is, what it really is hubris, is pride. And pride always comes before the fall. You cannot tell me that before you travel somewhere overseas, you don't know, you won't have the due diligence or the humility to look up, the country that you're going into, look up their, substance laws, look up, how to get to the US embassy, know how to say it in their language, make extra copies of your passport, you know what I mean? Email one to yourself, leave one here with a trusted friend. So that, because if somebody steals your passport, or they swap out your picture and say, no, I'm this person, they swap out your picture for their own, then what? You know what I mean? Like, we gotta be smart out here. Like, granted, I thought that Mary Jane was legal in Amsterdam, but that doesn't mean that it will be okay taking it across, in the airport and things like that. They have specific designated coffee shops to it, but Nicki has money. She's fine. She paid the fine, and so she'll be okay. Her husband, on the other hand, I'm interested to see what his PO, his probation officer, and the judge is going to say about that. But when I find out, you guys know I'll keep you posted. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.